Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to another design video, and in this video we'll be talking about a new UI design trend that is coming in 2021 or probably in use in 2020 called glassmorphism. So before we get our hands dirty in designing, let's go through what glassmorphism really is and why it will become a trend in 2021. So what is glassmorphism? So to keep it simple, glassmorphism really doesn't have a definitive definition. By that I mean it only has words that describe it, or probably it's best described by looking at it. So glassmorphism from this website, it says glassmorphism in simple terms, it's a light or dark surface placed on top of a colorful background. So the colorful background is necessary for the effect to be properly visible, as dull, low contrast backgrounds simply fade away under the panels and most of the effect is lost. I know you probably didn't get this definition, but what it's trying to say is that we are trying to create backgrounds that look like glass or frosted glass in the digital space. So to create such backgrounds, what you have to do is you have to have a background that is colorful enough that when you place the glass background on top of it, you can see the effects, because without the background, without the colorful background, you can't see the glass effect. Because what's glass has this property of making things behind it look very translucent kind of, and transparent and a little bit blur. So we try to create that effect in our design software to make the backgrounds look glass, if you understand. If you don't, stick with me, we'll be designing it in Figma. So let's get into Figma and start designing. Okay, so now that we are in Figma, to start off with the glassmorphic design, first we will need our colorful background. So to get this, we can either create it ourselves by moving shapes around and giving them gradients colors, or we can go to this website which provides a free gradient collection that you can choose from with different gradients colors. It's called products.ls.graphics. I think that's it. So when you go to this website, they provide free gradients, over 100 free gradients, rainbow, pastel, or natural. So I'll look through it and pick a color that I like. So for this one, I think the violet red looks really good. So I'll click the download button and it will open the background itself. So what we have to do is you can either choose to save the background on your desktop or right click it and copy the image, go to Figma and then paste it in here. Okay, so now that we have our background, what we will do is to create our glass panel or the glass screen. So I'll hit my R key on my keyboard to bring up the rectangle tool, and then I'll draw a rectangle of about this size. And then with glassmorphism, we don't want straight edges. The reason being that straight edges look harmful. We want it to be soft to the touch as possible, so that it creates that kind of impression that this panel can be held in the hand without getting hit. So we'll do this by adding a border radius to this rectangle we've created. So I'll increase the border radius till like it gets to a point where I'm really comfortable with. So I think about, let me type a value in here, about 50, or let's do 60. Great. So this one looks a little bit soft to the touch. So now that we have our border radius, I'll click the rectangle and then change the fill color from solid to linear. I'll put the first one to the edge and put the second one to the bottom edge, and then change the colors from gray to white. And as you can see, we are already getting there to the point where you see this frosted glass effect, but we are not there yet. So the next thing we will do is to click on the panel and then add an effect. This effect will give it the glass effect. So this effect mainly is the background blur. So I'll change the effect from drop shadow to background blur, and then I'll increase the background blur from 4 to about 40. Yes. So now you can see the glass is a little bit frosted, and you can see the background colors are translucent, like they are giving this glass kind of effect. So we are not done yet though, but you can stick to this one and use it as this is. But I like to add a little bit of effects to it. So I'll click on the panel again and I'll add another effect, which is the drop shadow effect. And with this, I'll mess around with the Y and the X. And then increase the blur to an amount that I'm really comfortable with. So let's do like 100. And I'll change the color to make it a little bit lighter. So now we have some kind of depth with the panel and the background. So I'll click the panel and then I'll add one last thing to make it look like a complete glass, which is the stroke. This is very important in creating glassmorphic backgrounds or panels because the edges make it look like real glass. So when I add the stroke to it, you see the effects. I'll change the color from black to white. And then I'll increase it to around 4 pixels. Oh, no, 4. And now you can see the glass effect popping up. But the whole border or the stroke is white. What we want is for some parts to be really white and some parts to be a little bit dull. So for this, instead of giving the stroke a fill, a completely fill, solid fill, I'll change the fill from solid to linear and then apply the same effect as the panel itself. Decreasing the opacity for this one. And then you can see the glass effect really coming into shape. So with this, you are done with your glass panel. You can add your UI elements. The best part about Glassmorphism is when adding your UI elements to them, there's no need for you to make them glass elements. You can use normal UI elements like buttons, flat text on top of the Glassmorphic panel and it will still look great. So with this, I'll leave it to you to add all your UI elements you like. But what I'll do in order to create depth between the panel itself and the background is to add a little bit of 3D shapes to it. So with that, I'll create it myself so you see how you can come up with these shapes. And with that, you can see we have our beautifully designed Glassmorphic panel. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you found this video really helpful, please do well to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And share it to anyone who might need it or who might like it. And I'll see you in the next videos. Thank you.